today. I'm telling you. There we go. Okay. Cancel. All right. Share my entire screen. Okay. So today we're going to talk about Gina.ly, and it is magic. I know that setting your Gina.lys, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, setting your Gina.lys up is going to take a lot of front loading, but it's worth it. I think that, you know, we've been virtual for so long, and our kids are, you know, all we do is like Google Slides or, you know, kind of plain stuff, or maybe they're tired of, you know, whatever we've been doing. So Gina.ly is going to create these very visually, aesthetically pleasing presentations that is hopefully going to be like magic and kind of increase your engagement. But again, I'm going to say it is going to take you some time to front load it. Okay. My name is Gina King. I'm the one-to-one instructional coach here at Garland High School. I am also a graduate of Garland High School. I graduated in '91. But feel free. I'm not just dedicated to Garland High School. I work for Garland ISD. So if you ever have a question or you ever have a problem, let me know. And I think somebody put something in the chat and I can't see it. Can the link for the presentation be posted? Yes, I'll go back to that screen and post it for you. There you go. Okay. So skills for Gina.ly. Gina.ly is one of these outside tools that isn't in Google for Education or Google Workspace. So you're going to actually have to use your Google account to have a Gina.ly account. Now, one thing that you need to understand about Gina.ly is that it is a freemium account. So you're going to have limited availability for the free items. However, the things that they give you for free are fantastic. You don't really need an upgraded account. I got an upgraded account because I use it all the time. I do it with presentations, and I actually got a discount because I was sitting in a presentation from Gina.ly and they gave us a little bit of a discount. Now, here's the key to it. If you have one person that has an upgraded educator account, so let's say me, for instance, on my campus, and I have an English teacher down the hall and they find something in Gina.ly that's not free, they can email me and I ask them to send me like a little picture of it, and I can go in and I can access that and I can share it with them, and it pops up in their Gina.ly and they can use it. So it's kind of a little bit of a workaround, you know, if it's something that you think that maybe your whole team is going to use, you know, you might go ahead and get the upgraded educator account. But Gina.ly has all kinds of templates. You need to understand the word action keys. You need to understand when we say an action key, what type of action is it? Okay. So what is it? Let's look at, let's take a minute to go through a Gina.ly. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is a Gina.ly that I put together. Actually, you know what? Okay, there we are. Okay, yeah. All right, so if you will go to this Gina.ly, and we're going to go through and we're going to find the imposter. So you can kind of go through it on your own, and if you want to do that in another screen, and then I'll kind of go through it on my screen, just to show you kind of how it works. And I love this because so many of the kids right now, I mean, they grew up playing Find the Imposter, and it's still quite engaging for them. And I'm going to turn this down. Okay, so Escape the imposters. Alert, alert. An alien has been spotted on our ship. We need to find it. So you can see this is a Gina. You can change the text. When you do a template, you can change the text. And then you can make the animations like, so, you know, it's very obvious that this is bouncing. You can animate any of the buttons on the Gina, which indicate to your students where they need to go. So if I push here, close the door. With your nerves, you've forgotten the password to close the main hatch of the ship. Answer the security questions correctly to close it. So we know this is going to be like a quiz, a review, or something like that where they have to answer correctly. So again, on the template, you can always go back home, or when you're in edit mode, you can change the questions and the answers, and it has an indicator on which one's the right answer. Okay, so on the template it'll say right and wrong. So I know that the city of Garland was established in 1891. All right, well, we can see that it animated and it closed part of the hatch to protect us from these aliens. The city of Garland was first named, it was first named Duck Creek. Okay, and so another piece of the hatch closes. By 1904, the city of Garland had how many people? And you know what? I don't even remember. Okay, well, obviously it's 819. Garland had a mayor name. Well, we know our library is the Nicholson Public Library because it was named after Nicholson. All right, gate is closed. Now, this particular template has like 3 different kind of activities that you're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to start at room 1. Example, I'm famous for my paintings. Guess who's lying in this statement? Okay, so you can see this is from the template. Well, Frida Kahlo is a painter. Salvador Dali is a painter. We know that Rihanna is a lie. Okay, so now I've got to look for the alien. I'm going to drag the light to find the alien suspect. So I just think this is so much fun, especially for your tactile learners. And so you're looking for a bug somewhere in here. Oh, there he is. All right. So I'm going to click on it and it's going to move me to the next room. Again, so I'm looking for the imposter. So identify the imposter. Which of these is lying about GISD high school mascots? So we know naming Forest Rangers. Well, we don't have a high school mascot called the Dragons. We have the Garland High School Owls. We have the South Garland High School Titans. So we know that this guy is wrong. So he's hiding an alien because he didn't know the answer to the question. We're going to click it and so on and so forth. So this is a great way to, you know, review. Again, it's going to take time to upload the questions and then going back through it and make sure that it's everything works and it goes where you want it to. Oh, there he is. But it could be a lot of fun. And especially towards the end of a semester, or you finish up a unit, it might be something you want to do. Where do most school districts hold their high school graduations? We're going to the Colwell Center. What is the favorite new building in GISD right now? Well, we're all talking about the Natatorium, which is the oldest building. Of course, Garland High School, the front facade was built in 1936. Oh no, the alien is in your body. Try again. So I guess I must have put the wrong answer. Very well. All right. And then here we go. Congratulations. And the rocket ship goes off. See you on Earth. We will return home with the certainty that none of us is an imposter, or so we think. End of transmission. And then we're done with that. So it's very engaging. It is graphically stunning. So when you go to Gina, you're going to use your GISD account. Again, I'm about to show you what your freemium account does and how to tell if it's free or an upgraded. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight there and just kind of show you around. It is Genially, and I have some problems getting to it, but it's GENIAL.ly. And I'm going to give you something else that I fought with yesterday. I was working in Genially on my laptop, and then I came to school because I was going to get so much more work done here. And you cannot be logged into Genially in two different places. So I had to really fight with that. So kind of be careful with logging in to Genially in two different places. Okay. So you can see these are all the Geniallys that I have created, you know, over the last year and a half. And so when you go to create Genially, it means, well, what can you create with Genially? Okay. And so in my presentation that I'm giving you a copy of on my website, I kind of go through and show you some of these things. Okay. So presentations, this is just basically like a slide presentation. So, you know, just like we do a Google slide. It's going to work the same way. So you have presenting, you know, whatever it is, and anything that's kind of nonsensical. Of course, that means it's a template. You can change it. And so it's just going to go through, and this is, you know, just the starting page. And kind of like with Google Slides, you know, okay, well, I don't want to just go through each slide individually. You know, they're going to let you click a button and go to, you know, how to present with video. And then there's a video there, and so on and so forth. So basically, when you click on and you want to create a presentation, you're going to have access to all of these different templates. And they're pretty. I mean, some of these things are just beautiful, and some of them are animated. But you can see some of these presentations have these little stars and others do not. If it does not have a star on it, that means it's free. If it does have a star, that means you have to have an upgraded account to it. Okay. So you can see these are just presentations that Genially's put together as a template, a lot like Slides Mania, where you can go in and change them and make it what you want. They have different types. So this is more business and marketing. If you have different reports that you have to turn in, an end of the year report or something, or a business proposal. Okay. One thing that we really, really, really like to use with our kids, of course, is an infographic. It's going to show like growth, like you plant the seed and the flower grows, or, you know, it could be a timeline, some kind of piece of information. And what I love is a lot of this stuff is already done for you. However, to me, that's limiting because, you know, maybe I want an infographic, but I don't want this molecule. And so what you can do is like something like this one, you can take it and you can change out those icons. It's time consuming, but you can do it. When you're doing something that's super graphic, like, you know, this balloons or this map or something like that, you're going to have to go in and change it up. So, you know, to me, that's a little bit of a downfall. Oh, but you have Jedi, list of becoming a Jedi. But you got a lot of really beautiful graphics that are already in there for you. And if you're a soccer coach, you could even do a game plan, but, you can change up any of the text. You can delete images. Like if I wanted to do this buyer persona, or if I'm working on personal branding, you can replace her picture with your picture. So on infographics, these are traditional infographics, the kind of big long ones that have the different pieces. So not only do you have horizontal ones, and you can see I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you've got some vertical ones. And then we all love visually pleasing diagrams. So this is a big one that, especially when COVID hit, we needed to engage our students a little bit more. And so we really kind of wanted to gamify what we were doing, kind of like the Find the Imposter, and he's right there. You know, what games can we have them play to help reinforce that information? So there are all kinds of quizzes here. I like Trivial Pursuit. I've used that one several times. Find the Detective. If you have a theme like Intercession, I thought it was fun to do some presentations when it was Carnival for Shoot the Clown, or the video, the gaming, you could do Space Invaders. And then you actually have board games. I know a lot of times, I know in English, I would give them an option to create a board game about the novel. And so they have to go around at each different spot and answer something to get through the board game. And then this is a big one, is can you escape rooms? And so like this one is really cute, and they just put that one up there. It's a campground. I have used which one was it? It was the spy one where you have a case and you have to crack the code to open the briefcase, which I thought was really fun. So I've used this one a lot, and you have to have your 4 different characters and who commits the crime, and then you take them on the map, and at each map stop they have to do something, and if you get it right, it gives you the code, and then at the end you have the code to the briefcase. So just a pretty standard breakout room idea. But again, it's already done for you, and it works a lot like Google Slides, where it's create your own adventure. So if you choose one thing, it's going to take you to one slide. If you choose something else, it's going to, some of it's going to take you all the way back to the start, which they get so frustrated. So you're like, you better get them right. This is my favorite thing in Gina is interactive images. So you could take any image and you can put your little action buttons on it to explain different pieces of an image. This could be a map. So you can see we can blow up and talk about Julia Roberts. We could blow up and talk about Kevin Spacey. We could blow up and talk about Ellen herself. And you could tweet out to something. So interactive images are really a great study item. A video presentation. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time doing video presentations. To me, when I really kind of dove into this, it reminds me, if you've ever used Adobe Spark and you've done the Adobe Spark video. So basically, it's going to animate your slide presentation. So all of the little animations happen. So this is a really good way to, animate content if you want them to watch information about something. It's pretty cute. But again, it's a lot like Adobe Spark Video. And if you've noticed in each one of these, Gina, they've gone back and put in kind of instructional videos on how to do it, which I love that, because there are times when you're fighting with Gina, or you might not exactly know what you're supposed to do. And so I love that they've gone back and put these videos on there. I used to have to go to their YouTube channel, and I believe that Gina it's out of a Spanish-speaking country. I'm not quite sure which one. And so on YouTube, a lot of their videos are in Spanish, and I'm not fluent in Spanish. So I would just kind of like mute it and kind of follow along with what they were doing. But I love that they've put information on each one of these types of presentations. You can make a guide. So maybe you have a guidebook. I use a character guide a lot because I want, I want to introduce a story, or I want to introduce something specifically. And you can put a picture there and all the information that goes with it. And then you can even like use the plus sign or the little look sign, and then attach a video to it. So they go and watch a video about that person, or, whatever information you want them to have. So I use guides quite a bit. And again, my favorite one is interactive image. Training materials, to me, this is just a lot like, you're putting together a handbook. And again, it's just to me, just kind of a fancy slide presentation. And then you could go for a blank creation, which to me, that's kind of hard to start from. So if I am over here, I can create a Gina and I can select what I want. My creations is your particular library. So like, here's an interactive image. I put this together for our kids that were coming, especially our freshmen last year, who didn't have the opportunity to come up to Garland High School during COVID because, when we were shut down. So in September, we had some of those kids come back face to face, and they didn't have a clue how to enter the building. And if you know anything about Garland High School, we're really kind of like a community college. We're like 9 different buildings all kind of put together. And so for our parents and especially those freshmen, or new students, I put this together for COVID, but I went and I took pictures of the parking lots. And so we'll let that go. That's the alma mater. But I put pictures of the parking lots and telling them where they are and what it looks like. I put the vestibule where any visitors to the building, this is where they go in. They no longer go in up here for the admin building. And then with the eyeballs, I had each one of the department heads film a video about that particular part of the building. So like here we have Miss Tomlinson, and she's showing people around the commons and taking them down to the administrative part of the building. So there we go. So a lot of really great information, because of course, our freshmen, sometimes they're just terrified to be coming onto our big high school campus. And, our building up here at the front was built in 1936. This part of the building where our English and foreign language classes was built in 1950. Our library was built in 1970s. So we're all kind of piecemealed together. And then like the science building, you have to walk completely across this little courtyard and parking lot to get there. So just an example of an interactive image. Another thing we did was during COVID, we really found it important to make sure that our kids knew like what groups and courses that kind of make our school unique. And so we came up with a virtual share night. And so what we did was we did these little booths on, a basketball court for each and every one of our student groups here at Garland High School. And so for each one, then if I click on their booth, you can go and find out information about Key Club, and then you can email the sponsor and ask them a question. And then that particular night, we had another action button where it went straight to a Google Meet, where some of the Key Club members and the sponsor was there to tell you all about it. So again, you can just kind of see it is just super interactive. It's a great way to put information together. quickly and really make it look pretty cute. Cute, engaging, foofy, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. So now I kind of want to show you how it works. Okay, so let's say here's our favorite topic ever. It's the incubation period of COVID. So I have a graphic, okay, and so you can see I have these little buttons here, and if I push the button, I can click on how it's interactive. So day 0, what I could do is I could put information here about what happens at day 0. I can, of course, put text. I could link out to something, which I was having a lot of problems with that the other day. I don't know if they fixed it. I can post a link and put a YouTube video here. So when you click on the action, it's going to allow you to go straight to the video and watch what goes along on that timeline. Okay. Let's say I want to add text. You have all kinds of different text options. Wear a mask. And then you can double click on it, and up here are all of your editing tools. Like you can shrink it down, change the font size, change the font color, change the font entirely. You can add an image. So let's say I want to put a piggy bank on there. I can do that. And anything you add onto your image or your slide or whatever, you can make it interactive. And that is the magic of Genially, is making something interactive and letting students click and interact with the material, which is then going to, of course, have that tactile response, that visual response. If you add a video, then you are a sound bite, then you have that auditory response as well. And again, like I said, you've just got some beautiful graphics that they've already put together for you. So anything you add to it, you can make it interactive. You can add resources. So let's say, I want to send it. This could be Nurse Mel's email address. So the way you make it interactive is you could add a tooltip. That means when you put your cursor over that icon, it's just going to pop up. It's going to say information about that. When you click on it, it's going to take you to a whole new window. This is great, when you're telling information about something and then you have like a Google form or something that you want them to complete. Put pictures in there, videos in there. It just opens to another window. When you have multiple pages in your Genially, you can make it go to a specific page. Or you can link out to something specific. So another website or a Google Doc or like a Google slide presentation or a YouTube video. So whatever you want to link out to. And that's what, again, makes Genially great. It's because it makes it interactive. Instead of just resources that you want to use, you can actually do pre-made elements. So like if you want just certain buttons, because everybody knows universally, if you push this, it's play, or universally, it's quotation marks, so it's going to be somebody talking. Or if you want directional buttons, so you put this button here and you want it to go back to a certain page. Smart blocks, it's charts and graphs, and then you can edit it so it looks like or relates the information that you want it to. What else is in here? So all kinds of just little different flyers. You can just insert something from your computer. So on my GHS interactive map, I inserted the audio playing in the background audio, and it's the alma mater for Garland High School. Or you can insert a video. So if you have a link or you have something in your Google Drive, like even like if you record yourself doing a presentation on Screencastify, it goes to your Google Drive and you can find it in Google Drive and insert it into Genially. At any time, you can change your background. You just need to be careful. This is your canvas. This is the interactive item. Okay. I need to delete that. When we're talking about the base of it, that means this background behind it. So, you know, you can add a water or whatever from Unsplash. Okay, whatever you want that base background to be. And then here's what I was saying with pages. So I can add a page. I could add it as a template, write this title here. I could put my information there. And then let's say when you click here, I can have it go to that particular page. Okay, so when they click there, it goes and gets the information from here. So this is just like a basic rundown of Genially. It is very user-friendly once you play with it. It looks intimidating, but I promise all you do is you change what text is there. On an image like this, you can't do that because it's an image. But any of the slide presentations, you can see anything that is a template. You can change a lot of the text in there. In my presentation for you today, I linked out to some of my presentations, and then I actually linked out to some of the Genially templates for you to look at. I went through all the buttons and how it works, and I even gave you a link to their YouTube channel. So that pretty much concludes with my presentation. And again, I know I went fast, and I know that you're probably going to have questions. So I'm going to stop recording.